I just saw Gran Turismo, which is a fascinating story, and I wish it was a better movie. Hi, thank you for tuning in to the Tom Patelson Show. Yeah, I saw Gran Turismo. I wanted to see this movie because my Gran Turismo credits go all the way back to 2004 when I played Gran Turismo 4 on my PS2. I haven't had a game system since then because I know me and video games, I will get addicted and then that's the last you'll ever see of me. But Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo 4 I played, and they're still fantastic racing games and a great racing pedigree. This is a fascinating story. The movie stars, forgive me, Archie Madakwe. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, who plays Jan Mardenborough, and Orlando Bloom plays Danny Moore, whose real-life counterpart is Darren Cox, who founded the GT Academy. David Arbor plays Jack Salter, who is an amalgamation of characters who helped train Jan, and Jaimin Hunsu plays his father, Stephen. Yeah, Jan Mardenborough is a sim racer who learned how to play a video game, entered a contest, and then became an actual race car driver. That is amazing to me. That's an incredible thing. That is every kid's dream fantasy, to be playing a game and then suddenly doing the real life thing. It's the dream of every kid that brings his mitt to the ball game for the hopes that they say, holy, the second baseman broke his leg. Hey kid, you've got a mitt, can you play? Get in here. That's every kid's dreams, to go and play the game for real. Now, this is a massive story when you consider everything involved, and they had to squeeze it into a 2-hour movie, so we needed to make a couple of shortcuts, I guess, and where they shortcut the movie is the plot and the character development. Because they went really overboard on the CGI and the racing scenes and the car separating and then turning back into the car. They do that a lot, showing you the video game process of whatnot. So it was CGI first and story second. There was just so many plot points they skipped. Spoiler alert here. You know what? I'm not going to do the spoiler alert. You know how this movie ends and starts. It's based on a true story. You can figure this out. And judging from the people going to the movies, you haven't seen this movie. It's not getting very... You had to go up against Barbenheimer, which is a thing. So I get it. A lot of people haven't seen Gran Turismo. Where they shortcut the story, David Arbor is giving instructions to our hero in a car just before Le Mans, and he is talking about how he needs to, now don't forget, you need to do this, you need to do this is going to be different from the last time you raced, as if he would totally give instructions seconds before a 24-hour race, the biggest in the world. No, there would be months and months of preparation, but again, they left room for the CGI, but not for the story. The father-son relationship between Jaimin Hunsu and Archie, father and son, is laughable. It's laughable. It's the typical thing. I want to be a real racer. Stop wasting your time, but it's my dream. Go and get a real job, or you go back to school, or you're not allowed in this house because you can't be a video gamer, you can't chase your dreams. Then after he succeeds, he goes and wins the GT Academy. He starts becoming a racer. He races he races in the circuit. He races. He's traveling around the world, and you never see his folks. You never see his dad show up in Dubai. Really? You're never going to believe that? And they wait until the very end to bring him in just before Le Mans to give the "I'm proud of you, son" scene, and it falls flat. It falls completely flat because you didn't build up the story that they had a relationship in the first place. It's all very tiny. The scenes are tiny. They try to make a point, and they make their points lickety-split, and they're on to something else. It's very shallow. The movie is very shallow. Every character is a one-note stereotype. The stereotyped characters. You have the dreamer hero. You have the corporation. And then there's the gruff, truth-telling sage with a heart of gold that nobody wants to work with because he's difficult and difficult to work with. Then there's the blind father figure, just completely clueless to anything going on in his children's world, until very finally at the end he loves his kid. It just falls flat. Oh, and there's a love story-ish, kind of a love story. It's not really fleshed out. Again, everything is just so right in front of your face, or it isn't. There's no time spent on it because we're too busy showing you the car separate and then reassemble and then separate and then reassemble. They do that scene 6 or 7 times in the movie, and it's neat. But we need to see more of the story or I'm not going to get involved. So for the story of what this movie is, 5 stars. For the execution of the story, 2 stars. The cast, 3 stars. They're fine. They're fine. They're not given a lot to work with. David Arbor's the funnest. He's really good and entertaining. But again, there's not a lot on the page. There's not a lot in character development for this movie. The CGI, 5 stars. It's great. The racing scenes are exciting and it's quick-paced and whatnot. I get that. That's good stuff. 5 stars. The racing scenes and the action sequences, also 5 stars. But the movie itself, I wanted it to be something else. Who is this movie for? I'll tell you who it is for. It's for kids with a PlayStation. And the sales are going to go through the roof because of this movie. And so will the actual consoles with the steering wheel and the pedals so you can pretend like you're in an actual car. Those are going to go way up. It looks fun as heck. I want to buy one right now as a gamer. I would love to play on that kind of system. So that's going to go big. The movie's for that. The movie's for kids. Honestly, this movie made me want to watch a better racing movie. So I went home and watched Ford versus Ferrari. Time for a shout out. This one comes from Carlos, who commented on my top 10 favorite mob videos with Joe Rosati as my guest. He says, I don't know if these count as mob movies, but 2 from the director Abel Ferrara are King of New York and The Funeral. I love King of New York. Fabulous Christopher Walken. They both star the wonderful Chris Walken, and I feel like they've been lost to time and still hold up beautiful. They have been lost to time and they still hold up beautiful. They really do. You can watch either of those movies and get a fantastic. Those are great picks. Also, Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman, which takes the whole crime element and brings it to the 21st with an emphasis on the millennial part. And then he said some of the nice things. Carlos, I love The Gentleman. I thought it was totally fun. I love Charlie Hunnam and that alley scene, and I love Colin Farrell in the fast food scene where he's beating up the kids. I think these are great mob movies. Yeah, I left them off the list. The Gentleman's difficult because it has to go up against Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch, and usually gets placed third in a lot of people's minds. It's not particularly third to me. It's fantastic, but those are great mob movies. Thanks, Carlos. That'll do it this week for my review of Gran Turismo. Yeah, I wish it was a better movie. Go ahead and wait for that movie to come out on streaming. Go ahead and watch that. But if you want something to do, go buy Gran Turismo. Go buy the game. Play the game. It's fantastic. I love a good racing game. It's good stuff. Like and subscribe if you like this content. Hit that notification bell so you know when my stuff drops. It drops on Sunday. Let me know what you're nerding out about. Let me know what your geek is. Talk to me. Let me know what you'd like to have, some top 10 lists. Let me know what top 10 movies we're missing. We love doing that. Love talking to you. Love to interact. Till I see you next time, as always, peace, love, live long and prosper. And I mean it.